What is going on, guys? This is the Inside the Blue podcast, episode number 29. Today we're breaking down the New York Yankees, and are they in trouble? Are the Yankees currently in trouble, or they currently are in the standings? A little bit. It's not a great look for the team right now, with just a 49 and 42 record in the AL East, and overall, fourth place in the AL East. Just not the numbers you would have liked heading into the All-Star break. Of course, Aaron Judge is still injured, so you still have your best player injured, and he means a lot to this team with how bad this offense has been, because the Yankees signed him to a massive deal in free agency. They got him back, and they didn't really build around him good. They got Judge back, they got Rizzo back, but they didn't really make another, splash to really make the offense better. Because the offense is the big problem to this team. The pitching hasn't really been, a question, right? It's not like, oh, what is wrong with this pitching? It's only been the offense. The offense has been absolutely brutal thus far. And you look at this team with the numbers without Aaron Judge. They're 14 and 17 without Judge. A 218 batting average, that's lowest in the MLB. They have a 288 on base percentage, that's also lowest in the MLB. And runs scored is 117 runs scored, that is third fewest in the MLB. So, to sum that up, the Yankees are bad offensively without Judge. Judge, they relied on Judge so much, and if he got injured, it would be really bad, for the team. And I think that's what Hal didn't really, look at. He thought, Aaron Judge was going to be, healthy for a majority part of the year and not miss a few months. But now he's injured. He has that toe injury. He tore a ligament. And now it looks horrible for the Yankees. The Yankees are a bottom offensive team without him. With them, they're a good offensive team because he carries. He hit 62 home runs last year. And, if they didn't have Aaron Judge, we don't know if the Yankees even would have made the playoffs last year. And the Yankees are in a tough division. The AL East is good, right? The Rays, they finally have cooled down, thankfully, but still they're a good team. The Blue Jays are a solid team. The Orioles have been good this year. Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, they've been a good team this year. And, we look at the playoffs. I know everybody's asking, are the Yankees going to make the playoffs, Vin? Are the Yankees going to make the playoffs? Well, you look at their current odds. They are 55.9% chance to make the playoffs. It's, pretty much 56%. So it's a 56%, we'll say, the Yankees will make the playoffs. And, it's decent odds, but the thing is, if the Yankees go on a huge losing streak, for say 5-6 game losing streak, I don't know if this Yankees team is capable of winning 6 games, in a row, right? Because the offense is just that bad. I think the pitching is great. The thing is with this pitching staff, the Yankees pitching staff can go, 9 innings, allowing 4 runs, right? The game's, 4-0. The Yankees can't, with the Yankees offense, they have not been able to really come back and get those comeback victories like they've done before, right? It's just not been good. There's not, players need to step up. Rizzo needs to step up. Stanton, batting .203 right now. He needs to step up. Gleyber Torres, I feel like his name has been thrown around all the time, recently. With just how his play has been, how his offensive, how his bat has been. It's bad. It's really bad for, Gleyber. He's making a lot of errors at second base. He currently leads second baseman 9 errors this year. That leads, that's the leading category in errors. He's leading in errors, which is not good. You moved him to second base. You thought you'd get more production out of him. Nothing really has changed, And it's just not a good look for Gleyber Torres. He needs to get better. I know he can get better. It's just, when. You don't want it to be too little, too late. He goes on a nice streak, and it doesn't mean anything because you don't make the playoffs, right? But I think the Yankees still can make the playoffs. I don't think that's out of the picture. I think, you don't have to worry about the pitching. If you can just upgrade, you know, or just improve, offense as the group we have right now, then maybe something could start clicking, right? Maybe something can click. But, the thing that's crazy to me that I saw, just looking at, stats today, because I look at stats all the time. So, Aaron Judge is currently injured. We all know that. And he has 19 home runs in the year, 40 RBIs. If I told you he's still leading in that category, I think you guys would call me crazy. But he still leads in that. Still 19 home runs is still leading in that category and 40 RBIs. The Yankees are 49 and 42. Okay? You do the math. That's 91 games played. And your leader is 40 RBIs. And he's injured. That's crazy to me. That is crazy. Anthony Rizzo has 138 more at-bats than Judge and has 8 less homers and 1 less RBI. That's how bad this Yankees offense is. I could go on a full rant, which I've already been, but I could even go even more, with how bad this Yankees offense has been. And, a team that I decided to compare the Yankees to is the Texas Rangers. I know the Texas Rangers are better than the Yankees this year. I know their offense is better. But I just wanted to, see what they're really doing. So, the Texas Rangers RBI leader is Adolis Garcia with 75. And I'm like, okay. He has a lot more at-bats than some of these Yankees. So I decided to find someone on their team that has similar at-bats. And I found Josh Jung. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he has 347 at-bats. Gleyber Torres has 336 at-bats. Josh Jung has 56 RBIs. Gleyber Torres has 36. 36. He has 20 less RBIs than Josh Jung. And how many at-bats that is. It's really bad. It's just so bad. I can't really say it's laughable because I don't like laughing at the Yankees. But, they have been not great this year. And, you look at it. When is this team going to get better? The All-Star break, the All-Star game was yesterday. Is there going to be a spark? And that's where I get into. Maybe the spark that Brian Cashman is thinking is, let's fire Dylan Lawson, the hitting coach. Okay, the hitting has been bad. Let's fire him. And that's what he did. He fires Dylan Lawson. And it's the first time Cashman has fired a manager, / coach in his career. So he never does this. But he felt that he needs to get a change, get a new voice in that locker room to improve these guys' hitting. Because their hitting is horrendous. Stanton, horrendous. Rizzo, horrendous. Gleyber Torres, horrendous. Just all bad. Okay? You look at everything, and just so many of the Yankees' losses is them just not being able to come back. And the pitching has been good that game too, right? Like, for an example, you've taken on the Oakland Athletics. The pitching allows two runs the entire game. The Yankees score 1 run that entire game. 1 run. It's so bad. And I'm going to get into, the Cubs series and the Baltimore series and the Cardinals series very soon, right? And another thing is they go out and they get Sean Casey. He gets hired. He's a good player. He's a 300 average career. He's one of Boone's buddies, so they're gonna have a good bond together, good correlation, and hopefully the new voice of Sean Casey can really help this Yankees team. Maybe there's a big spark. Sean Casey's hired, Dylan Lawson's gone. maybe something happens. Maybe Stanton heats up. Maybe DJ LeMahieu, who I haven't even mentioned yet, heats up because he needs to get going too. Gleyber Torres, maybe him. The thing is that shocks me, and I think everybody knows where I'm going with this, with the Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells story. Austin Wells, he's not a coach. He's not anything. He is just a catcher, a great catcher, great prospect. That's in Double A. He calls up Anthony Volpe. Hey, Anthony Volpe. I was a horrendous Anthony Volpe. Hey, we need you. Let's talk. Let's talk about your swing. He goes out and calls, texts, whatever. I don't know what it was. But he calls Anthony Volpe, will say, let's see where you were playing well. Let's see where you were hitting well. And all of a sudden, they get their chicken parm dinner, and some film. The Yankees take on the Mets. Mets against Yankees, Subway Series. Anthony Volpe just starts ripping the baseball, getting a double, getting hits, getting on base. Where was this the entire time, Dylan Lawson? You're telling me Dylan Lawson, any coach in that staff, couldn't find, the problem with Anthony Volpe's swing, and your Double A catcher fixes it? That's insane to me. That is insane to me. For your Double A catcher, to Austin Wells, to fix that. Not Dylan Lawson. Nope. Dylan Lawson just sat back in the dugout and just watched Anthony Volpe strike out every single time. And that's it. And now the last 20 games for Volpe. 299 batting average, 356 on base percentage, 537 slugging, and almost a 900 OPS. It's at 893. He's got 20 hits, so he's averaging a hit per game, and 17 strikeouts. But of course the strikeouts are still going to be there for Anthony Volpe, but he's batting almost 300 now. In the last 20 games. So that thing that Anthony Volpe and Austin Wells talked about, it worked. And then it's just so weird. It's so weird that you have to have your Double A catcher, Austin Wells, and a chicken parm dinner to fix that. That is just insane to me of how that, all that happens, because that shouldn't happen. Your MLB coach should see something in the swing, and he doesn't. He thinks, I guess he must have thought, he'll snap out of this. He's young, he's a rookie, he'll snap out of this. He was still struggling. Many were saying, let's send him down. Let's send him down to AAA, get him some more experience, call Peraza, do something like that. They decided to keep him up, and now he's playing good. I think he's third in WAR on the team. I think Cole and Judge. Judge is still, of course, up there. Cole and Judge are just in front of him. And those are the two best players on the team. So Anthony Volpe is right there. And then, I think Michael King's in there at 4, and, so on and so on. But Anthony Volpe has been special now. Now he's really starting to hit, and he did struggle. I will admit, I don't know, I probably wasn't one of the ones on the train to send him down, because I thought it was just too early. We've seen other players in this league that struggled, like Adley Rutschman, Julio Rodriguez, and many other players. But Anthony Volpe is still a Yankee. He's still on the team, of course. And he's going to be here for a long time, I feel like. I feel like he is a long-term player on this team. And let's hope he continues his strong play after the All-Star break. Hopefully that series against the Rockies is a big one for him. Playing at Coors Field. And that's a big series for the Yanks, too. I mean, the Rockies are bad. Another bad team that the Yankees should be able to at least 2 out of 3. You need to take 2 out of 3. You need to win series. That's just the bottom line with this team. Sweeping, amazing. If you could sweep the Rockies, cool. That would be amazing for the team. And go, and win that series against the Rockies. Because they need wins desperately and in bunches. Not 2 wins and then 4 losses. 3 wins and 5 losses. They need 7-1, 6-2 in the last 8 games. They need those type of games. You got an elite bullpen, one of the best in the league. It's just the offense. the only thing I've talked about is the offense. I've not went into how Clay Holmes has been much better, how, Tommy Canley has been amazing, how Clark Schmidt has really started to find something in his game, how Domingo Germán has been better. We could talk about Severino. He's been bad. Horrible. Horrible, horrible from Severino. And I don't know what really happened. Do you throw him in the bullpen now? Is that what is best for Luis Severino? Is that really how the Yankees are going to do this? Go to the bullpen and put Luis Severino in? I mean, towards the end, when he did come back from injury and they did throw him in the bullpen, he was better. And maybe that's just best for Luis Severino. Maybe he's not a starter. Maybe he's a dude that you got to throw in the bullpen. And what if he performs? What if you need a long relief pitcher in a playoff game and you throw in Severino and he dominates, right? What if you do that? Maybe that's what's best for him, is to throw him in the bullpen. But now we get to the big stuff. The Baltimore series. The Cardinals series. The Cubbies series. So, I looked forward to these series, right? Baltimore is an AL East rival. They've been good this year, so, maybe you do a good job against them. Take 3 out of 4. And the worst you could do is split. Of course, they split. But the Cardinals and Cubbies. Bad baseball teams. What do the Yankees do? They lose both series. Such a Yankee thing to do, right? Just such a Yankee thing to do. And I look forward to these series, right? I looked forward to them. I thought it was going to be a sign. I think previously they won 3 series in a row before going into that Cardinals series, I think they beat, if I can remember, I think they beat the Mariners, Texas Rangers, and the Oakland Athletics. And then you're going into St. Louis. And the big thing, I think the big story is getting shut out by Jordan Montgomery. Props to him. Props to Jordan. He pitched amazing against us. The Yankees couldn't find anything against him. The Yankees really just couldn't get anything going. And Severino is really bad. Really bad again. His stuff is just not there for some reason. I don't know what it is. But, the first game you win against the Cardinals, and then Severino pitches bad. The offense collected, 10 hits in that game with Severino pitching. They batted .294 as a group. And then the final game of that St. Louis series, they didn't score a run until the 7th inning. The 7th inning. Just so bad. So bad. And the Cubs series, of course, we know how that went. I think we all know. Domingo Germán, why was he pulled? And the only thing that I could really say to that is, yes, your bullpen is rested, but when someone's throwing that good on the mound, it's really hard to take him out. And Domingo Germán still, it's not like he had no energy. He still said after, at the post-game press conference, he still had energy to keep going. That's just a problem with Boone, man. I don't know what it is with Germán. He just has no confidence, I feel like, sometimes in those situations. Yes, is it a 50-50 play? You go to the bullpen, and your bullpen's elite, so, yes, it's fine to go there. But Germán, man. Germán was dealing. He had 9 Ks that game. He allowed 1 earned run, and it was from a home run at Yankee Stadium. So, that just shocks me. And now we talk about the O's. The Orioles, who have been great this year. I knew they were going to be great this year. Just really bad. They win the first 2 games sick. And then game 3 goes around game 3. Bullpen gets away. Bullpen's not good that game. They let up runs in the 6th and they lose that game. That goes to waste. They go to game 4. Bad. 14-1 loss at the stadium. Probably the worst loss I've seen the Yankees ever lose to the Orioles. They've lost some games in Baltimore, yeah. They've lost some games at home here, but 14-1 against the Orioles, bad. Just so bad. And the only run they scored in that game was a ground out that was errored by some Oriole player, and Cabrera scored. I think it was a Billy McKinney ground out. That is sad. You can't score until the ninth inning. When your back's against the wall, that's when you decide to score. When probably 80% of the Yankee fans are gone, and it's just some of the Orioles fans and some Yankee fans that still have hope that game. And to really hit the icing on the cake for Severino, another 7 earned runs in just 2 2/3. Abreu was bad that game as well. I'm pretty sure he allowed. I think Severino allowed 7 and he allowed 6. So, bad stuff. But Abreu is, he's not great. I don't think Abreu is one of the better players in that bullpen. But, cool for Garcia to get out there, not allow a run. He had 3 walks, but, cool for him. And another thing that I'm tired of seeing is Anthony Volpe in the leadoff spot. It's been experimented so many times this year, and not I don't think once it's been successful. Maybe 1 or 2 times. You just keep him, on the bottom. Keep him 6, 7, 8. That's where he really, strives, and that's where his bat gets hot. But, regardless, he's been good. And I think Boone is really... It's just a poor decision to put him at the leadoff spot. There's other people he could lead off with. You could lead off with Glaber. You could lead off with, I was about to say Rizzo. You could lead off with Rizzo. You could lead off with LeMahieu. You could even get funky with it and lead off with Bowers. But, the final thing that I want to see is the Yankees to get a good bat. I've been talking about the offense for the entire video. Why not get a big bat? Make a splash. Maybe it's a Cody Bellinger. Maybe it's Juan Soto. And this is just a wish list for me. Because obviously I would love them on the team. Many say that's probably unrealistic to see them get Soto. Then get Bellinger. Get belly bombs. You saw what he did against, who was it that he hit the home run off of? I don't even know, but he hit a long home run here. He's been playing good this year. He's always a great defensive fielder. The Yankees need upgrade at left field. It's bad. IKF playing left field. Jake Bowers just not good enough. You need better players. You're the New York Yankees, and you have mediocre players. Listen, I love IKF. He has been good this year for the team, but we need an upgrade. I love IKF. I love his energy and what he's done to this team. But let's get a better player in left field. Let's get Cody Bellinger, and maybe the long shot is Juan Soto. And I was watching the All-Star game, pregame or whenever it was, when Jeter mentioned the Yankees should get Juan Soto. I smiled. I smiled. I smiled because Juan Soto, I love Juan Soto. I wanted to get him last year. My nose is bad today. I wanted to get him, last year. Cole wanted him as well. He's a great player. We've seen what he does in the playoffs. We've seen what he does this season. He's an elite baseball player. I don't care if you call him overrated because of his defensive plays. His defensive, is he a defensive liability? Maybe. But it's Juan Soto. I think he's on pace to, break the walks. I think he's walking a lot more. I think he's some sort of record I think I saw, or a career high in walks. And he gets on base. The Yankees don't get on base. I think in one of those, I think it was the O's game, their top 4 hitters, Glaber, Torres, Glaber, Torres, Rizzo, Bowers, and I'm probably missing someone. Rizzo maybe, I don't know. They had 0 hits. 0 hits, and that's just bad, you know? But to wrap this thing up, this offense has to get better this next half. After the All-Star break, you're playing the Rockies, then you're playing the Angels. Let's take it to them. Come on. No Trout for the no Trout for the Angels, but they still have Shohei Ohtani. I don't think Shohei Ohtani's ever gonna become a Yankee, but if he does, man, that'd be nice. But I don't think he will. So I think realistically, you go for Cody Bellinger if you want me. Yeah. If you, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. But I hope they get, either Cody Bellinger or Juan Soto or just some sort of upgrade. I don't care who it is. If it's an upgrade, I'm happy with it. It's like the S tier players that I want to get is Cody Bellinger and Juan Soto. Not together. Either one. Or you wait out and get Soto at free agency if he decides to not re-sign with the Padres. And give up nothing. Because you're probably going to have to give up a decent amount for Juan Soto. And the players I really don't want to give up yet is like Dominguez and Austin Wells. Except I feel like, I take that back. I hope they keep Austin Wells. But I feel like if you're going to get Juan Soto, you might actually have to give up Jason Dominguez. But regardless, it's been a nice episode. And I'm going to start pumping out some more content, of course. It's been the Inside the Boot podcast. I'm your host, Vin. We're talking about the Yanks today. We're trying to get better as an offensive team. Hopefully the Yankees get better offensively. Of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Of course, notifications on. And that'll do it. See you guys later in the next one. Peace.